Hi, today I'm going to show you how to use the Mountain Fuel products, and we're going to start with night fuel. This we basically make into like a hot chocolate that you have the night before an event, or even after like a hard training session in the evening, and you want to prepare for the following day. So we simply open the wrapper, which tears really easily. You empty it into your container. I'm using a clear glass here so you can see how easy it mixes. And basically in there you've got a carbohydrate mix, you've got a protein mix, and you've also got some sodium. You can use hot water, cold water. You just mix it in, give it a little stir, mixes really easily. And basically the principle behind it is that what it does, and you can add a little bit of milk if you want, or like I said, you can use hot water or hot milk. The principle is that what you're doing is feeding your system overnight. So you've got a carbohydrate blend in there, and that's important because what that does is that a high carbohydrate blend, it actually helps your brain chemicals release serotonin and tryptophan, so that helps you sleep. And you've got a slow release protein mix, which is basically replenishing your muscles while you're asleep. So when you wake up in the morning, you're feeling refreshed because you've had a decent night's sleep, and your muscles
ready to go.
You're ready to go. So that's basically hot chocolate.
I think I'd like that with a little bit of milk in.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
But it's really nice.
Could you mix it with hot milk as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically night fuel. So we're now going to talk about morning fuel, and we call it morning fuel, but essentially this is a pre-event fuel.
So I could have it any time.
Anytime.
Could I have it during an event?
You can also have it during an event.
Obviously, if you're not running.
Yes, it's pre and during. So I'll explain all that. And while I'm talking, I'll show you how easy it is to mix as well. So basically within this, it's gluten-free oats, ground gluten-free oats, which makes it even easier on the stomach. There's a carbohydrate mix in there, and there's also a protein mix in there. And it's basically, if you imagine a big bowl of oats that's been whizzed up, so it's now in this little compact pack there, and it literally mixes really easy. I'm going to mix it in two things here just for demonstration. So I'm going to put half of it into that bowl there, and I'm going to put the other half into this shaker, because you can either have it as a kind of paste, or you can have it as like
so depending on the amount of milk or water
you add. It'll depend on how you have it. So for example, if I'm going to have it like a kind of a porridge style mix, I'm literally going to add a little bit of warm, hot water. Now this could be, I'm just going to put this out of the way, it could also be milk. I just have mine literally, and as you can see there, it just mixes really easily, and there's literally, I put half in there and half in here, so you've also, it's like kind of gone in about 6 mouthfuls, 7 mouthfuls, so it's really light on the stomach, but it's really energy packed. We also have ground flaxseed in there as well, so it really is a very nutritious start.
And we can just mix this in a shaker.
And you mix that in a shaker. So for example, for this one, you could either use water or milk. So for example, if I was going to go early and I knew I had a 2-hour drive to an event, I might just mix it, and I've got, I want to basically just sip it along the way. Literally, put it in there, whack that in. I'd use a bit more water than that, to be honest. A bit more water, a bit more milk. Get my shaker on, give it a shake, and then that's it. That's shaken. That's ready. And then literally just sip it on the way to an event. And again, you just drip feed your system, slow release. So that little lot there.
So a really versatile product.
Incredibly versatile. But you can act like with guys who do ultras, or even kind of Ironmen, things like that, who will actually use this, or even long distance cycling, who'll use this as their on-the-go fuel as well.
Can you add that into a product that you were making if you wanted to make it sort of to eat on the go, like if you wanted to make some flapjacks or?
Well, yeah, you could use this in flapjacks if you wanted to make your homemade flapjacks. We do have a bar, but you can do that. But we also make little pancakes, and we've got a recipe on the website. Little bite-sized mouth pancakes, which are absolutely fantastic. Made with the morning fuel, banana, Yeah, it gives you a different texture, something to eat, something physical to eat. But this really is absolutely fantastic pre-event fuel.
Sounds
and
great.
Tastes bloody nice as well. So we're now moving on to our energy fuel. So we basically have
You've got three flavours.
Three flavours, yeah. You've got tropical, you've got blackcurrant, and you've got raw.
Okay.
Gives
Raw. What does raw mean?
Right, raw is basically unflavoured.
Okay.
So it's really refreshing. So especially on a really hot day, you don't get that kind of flavour fatigue that you sometimes get with a flavoured product. So it's really good.
Okay.
So these products again, I'll show how easy they mix, but the kind of base of these are made up with, we have a carbohydrate mix, we also have minerals, which are electrolytes, yeah, and then we also have vitamins, and I'll just let you pour that.
Is that enough? Would you pour more in?
No, I would generally, with these, you mix them to kind of 500 ml, 750 ml or a litre, and it very much depends on the amount of time you're going to be on your feet, how hot it is in the day, and also just your personal preference for the strength of the flavour. So a lot of people will just mix them in the soft flask, 400, 500 millilitres, yeah. So just first showing how easy it mixes, that'll do. And again, you tear it open. And it's quite a narrow thing, so it pours very easily. So that's going in there. And I'll just put that on the side. So again, it's just in there, and it literally, this is the raw, and you can see there, it literally just all mixes very quickly, very easily.
No sediment on the bottom or anything.
No, it's really clear. So, and basically within there, as I said, we've got a mineral, which is electrolytes, and we've got the extra vitamins along with the carbohydrates. And we have the minerals and the vitamins because basically you need the combination of those for energy production. It's really important. Also for muscle contraction, which is obviously very important. And also the vitamins are putting back into your immune system because obviously when you exercise very hard, you're sucking all those things out of your system.
Okay.
So it's a really good go-to on-the-go energy fuel that you can either drink in advance of an event, so an hour, 2 hours before an event.
You wouldn't just drink the whole thing, you'd just sip it gently?
Yeah, sip it over, say, half an hour.
Okay.
And then what you can also do is, during an event, you might have it either in a bottle, or you might have it in a soft flask with this kind of valve, or like a straw like this, or a valve. And what we say is, start sipping 10-15 minutes in, because what you do, you want to just gently feed the system. And just keep it hydrated and
just keep topping yourself
fueled.
up.
Absolutely. So that is the energy fuel. So we're going to talk about the hydrogel sports jellies. These are not like a normal.
So a jelly, not a gel.
Not a gel. A gel is like your traditional kind of sports gel. It's like a syrup.
Okay.
And the issue with the syrup is it goes very quickly through your system. You also need to have a lot of water with it to help it metabolize properly, and that's why sometimes people have issues and stomach problems and nausea taking traditional gels.
Okay.
These are really refreshing. We've had some of our guys who are our customers, like for example Serena Virgie, she had over 100 of these in a 5-day Wainwright, or just under 6-day Wainwright's 10th of successful record. So they really are easy on the stomach, brilliant in hot weather when you're struggling to take on board other fuels and drinks. These are just so easy to get down.
Yes, you don't need to have the drink with it.
No,
like
you don't.
Do with a gel.
No, you don't need to have any water with them.
Excellent.
You can literally just take them and they melt in your mouth and dead refreshing. So we've got two kind of, these are orange and lime, and I'll show you the texture. Orange and lime. These are 20 grams of carbohydrate, like a mix of carbohydrates, but then they've also got electrolytes in them. So we basically have sea salt in them as well, so for your electrolytes, but we use like a special pectin. And you can either, to open them, you can either just partially tear it like this, and then that keeps the top on, and then you can literally just take it on board. Or
so if you want to be environmentally friendly and you don't want to leave your little tabs everywhere.
Yeah, you can just partially tear it. Or if you've got easy access pockets, you can just take the whole top off. Make sure you put it in your pocket, into your vest or whatever, so it's tucked away.
Yeah.
Now the texture is, as you can see, it's a very warm day. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's very much like a jelly type texture. No, you probably can't see it from over there, but it literally.
So you could easily coat that whole dish, couldn't you?
Yeah.
If you put enough on there, because
yeah.
it's just, you can see that it's.
Well, you can almost see as well
the
jelly texture, so the hydrogels themselves.
Yeah.
And the hydrogel essentially, it sucks in, so it hydrates the pectin that we use, and it sucks in the water, the carbohydrate, and the minerals, so the electrolyte, and then that's encapsulated, and that helps it pass through your system easier.
Yeah.
So these are, as I said, these are 20 grams of carbohydrate plus your electrolytes. We have a 20 grams a cola version, which is again 20 grams of carbohydrate, and this one has 30 milligrams of caffeine in, so if you like to have a little caffeine hit. But then we also have a new Sports Jelly Plus,
okay.
and this is...
What's the difference between these and the plus?
So the Plus, this is basically 30 grams of carbohydrates.
Okay.
It's slightly more, it's the same size packaging, but it's actually got more water in it as well, which helps with how it passes through the system, how easy and refreshing it is. But there's also, within this particular one, there's also 50 milligrams of caffeine. This is real rocket fuel stuff. Okay. But again, it's easy on the system, it's very good. So we're bringing out we will have a non-caffeinated version of this as well.
Okay.
So again, you know, with these, you know, if you're training on them and you're doing a marathon, something like that, then you can comfortably have between 60 and 90 grams of carbs an hour using these. Just practice, just train on them, and they work really, really, really well.
Okay.
So that is the Sports Jellies. Now we're going to focus on the Ultra Chia Gel. The Ultra Chia Gels are not like a traditional gel, so it's not like a syrup. These are, if you imagine, more like a kind of cake mix. If I'll show you the kind of texture, they're more like, you know, when your mum used to make cake mix, you dip your finger into it.
Ooh, yeah.
It's that kind of texture. So it's an alternative to that kind of more jelly type texture. So if you have a look here, that it comes out and it literally is just a very easy to consume.
It looks very smooth.
It's very smooth because it's ground chia.
Okay, yes,
So
you don't get the little lumps in it.
No. So you've got ground chia, we've got raspberry juice, because this one, for example, this is the raspberry flavour, so you've got raspberry juice in it, you've got coconut sugar as well, you've got a little bit of beetroot juice, you've got potassium, so you've also got the electrolytes in there. So that's 20 grams of carbohydrates and your electrolytes. This is the apple and cinnamon. Again, very, very tasty. This one, again, it's 20 grams of carbohydrates and the electrolytes. These are vegan. If I should have mentioned all of the products the jellies, the other jellies that we do are also vegan as well.
Okay.
But these ones, you have these. If it's a really hot day, you probably would have a little swill of water as well.
Okay.
Which is different to our hydrogel jellies, which you don't need to have water. But
Yeah.
I think because of the chia base, you still need to just have a little bit of water to help them go down. And you typically have kind of 2 to 3 of these an hour, or well, anything from 1 to 3 an hour, very much depending on what else you are fueling with,
And
or the
how far
distance and the
into it?
duration and the effort and your desire kind of thing. So that is the Ultra Chia Gels.
Okay.
FeelGoodBars that we do. We've got 3 different flavours. We've got double ginger, we've got date, and we've got turmeric and orange.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, they're really good, even though I say myself. But basically, these are like a flapjack, but they're not like a flapjack.
Okay.
A typical kind of flapjack or a kind of standard bar, some people find it difficult to eat them on the go. They can either be very hard to chew, or it might be that you take a bite, your mouth's very dry because you're naturally exercising, so they become a bit like swords in your mouth, so you have to drink lots to get them down. We've used a different base, so we use gluten-free oats with these.
Okay.
We also use flax seeds, ground flax seeds, and we use coconut oil as the base. So that gives us a very easy to bite, break down in your mouth, melt, chew, gone sensation.
Yeah.
So it doesn't become that kind of dry.
So they're easy to eat.
Very easy to eat on the go,
running.
especially when you're running. And what we suggest to people is, because they're very calorific as well, so these little bars are 80 grams, but they have between kind of 360, 365 calories per bar.
Okay.
So, you only need like a little quarter or a mouthful every half an hour, depending on what else you're having. So you just have them in little bits, little nibbles, feed the system, and they're just a really healthy, nutritious, kind of on-the-go snack. We have in them as well, we've got pink Himalayan salt, there's brown sugar for the carbs. We try to use where we can as natural ingredients as we can, but we're very much a case of it's functional ingredients that deliver, not just fatty ingredients because it's the latest thing to throw in a super seed or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're now going to go over and talk about the Ultimate Recovery Fuel, which is our protein-based recovery fuel. Comes in 2 flavours, strawberry and a chocolate, both delicious. You can mix them with water. I'm going to get a mixer and show you how easy they are to mix. You can mix them with water or with milk. I love mine with milk, but for purposes of demonstrating, I'm going to mix it with water because typically when you're at an event, it's just logistically easier. Yeah.
Milk.
So should we mix the strawberry?
Yeah.
So in there, these aren't your kind of off-the-shelf, kind of bodybuild, bog standard protein shakes. These are designed for endurance athletes to replenish.
Pour some water in.
Yeah. So basically mix it up to about kind of 400 ml. Yeah, that'll do. So put it in, mix it up, and as you see, literally it's taken about 3 shakes and it's all completely mixed. It really mixes really, really easy and smoothly.
It does.
Unlike a lot of protein shakes, which are a nightmare to mix, and you can really taste the protein.
So they've got fill or something in them.
Yeah, and that also gives you kind of false sense because your muscles end up kind of essentially puts water in your muscles and stuff because of the filler. This is a proper endurance recovery shake.
Quality protein.
That tastes fantastic, but within there we basically have protein mix, you've got the carbohydrates as well because you've got to replenish the carbohydrates, and that also helps the replenishment process. So you need that mix in along with the protein, and then we also have vitamins in there as well because again you need to put the vitamins back into the system, and then we also put sodium in there as well because again you need to replenish the minerals within your system. Yeah.
That's the name.
Yeah. So as you can see, mix is really easy, delicious water, fantastic with milk or a milk substitute. You can use these straight after exercise, but what we also see is people doing ultras or say for example long distance triathlons or Ironman, you basically would have these. So for an ultra you might put this in your drop bag or have it say every 8 hours you would have one of these and just mix it with about 200 ml of water, sip it on the go, and it helps offset that DOMS process on the go. So it's while you're moving, you're replenishing your system, replenishing your muscles, and believing the pickup you get from it, your kind of brain knows you're getting something good and you're getting something that's helping to put everything back in your system, and it just gives you a massive lift. And for those longer distance triathlons and Ironmans, you have the same principle in T2. So after the bike ride, you come off the bike, 200 ml of water, one of these, sip it, drink it, get it in you, go out for your run, and again, it just helps set you up for that run, helps you feeling good, and helps offset the DOMS so the next day you're feeling loads better.